Does Standard of Practice 16-16 prohibit the negotiation of buyer-broker compensation in a buyer's purchase offer? And the answer is no. A buyer can always ask their buyer-broker to make it a term of an offer to purchase that the seller pays certain compensation to the buyer's broker. So what this means is you can put into the offer what the buyer's agent is wanting to get paid, but the offer cannot be contingent on the buyer agent getting paid. So, you could put in your offer, the buyer's agent wants to get paid 2.5%, but you can't say, we're not gonna buy this house if you don't give the 2.5%. You can't make the offer contingent on the buyer's agent getting paid. So we talked about this earlier, but just to be clear, who can pay the buyer's agent's commission? The buyer can in the buyer agency agreement, the listing agent can in the broker-to-broker agreement, or the seller can in the contract. The buyer's agent compensation must always be disclosed to the seller in writing, and the seller must consent. So that's something to keep in mind too. Whatever the buyer's agent is going to be paid, that has to be told to the seller in writing, and the seller must consent. So if you're a listing agent, if you're a buyer's agent, I would make sure that you have in writing, in an email, in an agreement, in some form, something written down where you disclosed to the seller what the buyer's agent was going to get paid. And that's just to cover you. If your file ever gets audited, your office gets audited, you have something in your file saying, hey, we disclosed this to the seller, we're compliant with the practice changes. So you got to disclose it to the seller, what the buyer's agent's getting paid, and the seller has to agree. And again, the compensation, it cannot exceed whatever was listed in the buyer's agency agreement. If you don't remember anything else, remember that the buyer's agency agreement trumps everything. It beats everything. That's the document that guides everything else.